All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Jaron Boots Ennis and what Shawn Porter had to say about him on the Welterweight podcast. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Shawn Porter is a wild boy, man. Has something to say about Jaron Ennis and all of the credit and all of the pub that Jaron Ennis is getting. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm smelling just a little bit of the hate sauce on the man. Before I get into that though, let me say thank you and welcome you to the channel again. Thank you for subscribing to Fanon International Boxing. Also, make sure to hit the bell icon if you're not, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. All right, so Jaron Ennis is a welterweight contender on his way, on the come up in the welterweight division. Is starting to attract a lot of fans, a lot of appreciation by fans and excitement by fans, based off what they've seen in the ring from him so far. He is in the top, at least in the top 4 in the ranking systems of every major sanctioning body. Every time he's got into the ring, the dude has looked absolutely spectacular, and pretty much to a name, every top fighter or welterweight and commentator that's asked about Jaron Ennis talks about how this dude is an exceptional talent and may very well be the future of the division. Shawn Porter himself had commented about Jaron Ennis and how good Jaron Ennis was, but now Shawn Porter seems to be changing his tune a little bit, and in an uncharacteristic fashion. One intended to make headlines, so why not do the video? Shawn deserves the headlines. He says that at this point in time, Jaron Ennis is overrated, and he's saying this because of the reaction that Jaron Ennis gets, that people get whenever they talk, many people give whenever they mention Jaron Ennis fighting anybody, right? Which is Jaron Ennis will mop this dude, Jaron Ennis will mop that dude, Jaron Ennis will mop this dude, Jaron Ennis will mop that dude. Now, I have a live stream that I do every day at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you guys want to check it out in the morning, and I get the same thing. As you get more and more excitement around a lot of different fighters, you'll hear how their fan base is going to say what they will do and how they will beat all of these different guys, right? Devin Haney's fan base that does that for Devin Haney. Quiet as kept. Gary Antoine Russell has a fan base, a small but growing fan base that's saying the same thing about him and everybody, and being able to beat everybody at 140 pounds. You got Jaron Anderson's fan base saying the same thing about him, saying what he would do to the rest of the heavyweights, right? Jaron Ennis is probably just getting out. Shakur Stevenson's fan base does the same thing. So what Shawn is talking about exists. But Shawn, it seems, is taking this a little bit personally as far as it goes in the welterweight division. Now, personally, because I've been big on Jaron Ennis for several years now, I don't think the boy is underrated. I don't think the man, excuse me, don't need to call him boy. I don't think the man is overrated at all. I think that he is rated just about where he should be rated, in the top 3, top 4 of of everybody in the welterweight division, right? What I say about him is that, yeah, I think he will mop the majority of the people in the welterweight division. In fact, when Shawn Porter was asked on the Welterweight podcast, shout out to the Welterweight podcast, he said, one of the co-hosts, forgive me for not having the name of the co-host that asked him, he said, Shawn, but what do you think Jaron Ennis would have done with Mario Barrios? And he said, well, yeah, Mario Barrios, he probably mopping him, right? But I think the offense comes from when they say, oh, he's going to mop Keith Thurman. Oh, he's going to mop Errol Spence Jr. He's going to mop Terrence Crawford. And see, personally, that's kind of where I draw the line a little bit. I don't want to be disrespectful to those guys because those guys have gotten in the ring and have proven it in the ring more so than Jaron Ennis has, right? But at the same time, the naked eye test with Jaron Ennis is that is something very, very, very serious, man. That dude literally can do everything he wants in that ring. He looks very, very solid. Yeah, he pulls back from he's been pulled back from a shot a couple times and got touched with a couple times. But if you look at him compared to the guy critiquing him, Shawn Porter, I think, man, that the flaws are more the flaws are more evident in Shawn Porter. The same flaws that people can point to in Jaron Ennis are also present in Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford shoots straight back from punches and has been caught shooting straight back from punches. I don't think there is any fighter that is perfect and completely without flaws. But to call him overrated at this point in the time, that is pretty heated, man. To say that people may want to slow their roll on him a little bit, be more respectful to the guys that have actually accomplished stuff, accomplished, and beaten bigger names in the ring. I think that is a fair statement. But for Jaron Ennis to be overrated, I think that is just, the old man may be feeling a little bit. And that's all right, man, because, we all feel it when we feel a bit of competitiveness. Maybe Shawn Porter's just not been out of boxing long enough because, he's retired. But, I don't count him as being retired until a solid 2 years has gone by, because he may jump out at any time, man. So maybe he's just feeling like, man, this is not enough respect for my peers, right? Like, because his peers are the guys that beat him, right? He lost to Terrence Crawford. He lost to Kell Brook. He lost to Errol Spence Jr. He had a tough fight with He won but had a tough fight with Yordenis Ugas. He won but had a close fight with Danny Garcia. So maybe when everybody's talking about how Jaron Ennis will mop all these guys that actually either had a good fight or beat Shawn Porter, he may be taking it a little bit personally. However, and also I do believe Shawn Porter at a point in time said this is the closest thing we've got to Roy Jones, that Boots is the closest thing we've gotten to Roy Jones Jr. Now, look, man, if at one point Shawn Porter was willing to say something that extreme, that this is the closest thing we've got to Roy Jones Jr., I don't see how he could get upset if somebody said, look, man, he's going to mop Terrence Crawford or he's going to mop Errol Spence Jr., right? But then again, what he said was he also expresses like it's just the way that people are just blowing off these other fighters and saying that he was going to be that man. He also said when somebody asked me, well, that's how they were doing for Errol Spence Jr. as well. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't one of those people buying into Errol Spence Jr. like that, right? So you see that he just has that competitiveness in him. He's still in that same weight class, man. He had some saltiness in his voice when he said it. So, that's what I chalk that up to, man. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Jaron Ennis either got people like myself right or proving people like myself wrong. However, I will say that I'm not jumping out there saying he's going to mop Errol Spence, he's going to mop Terrence Crawford. I think that he has a chance to beat Errol Spence. He got a chance to beat Terrence Crawford, and those guys have a chance to win that fight as well. But if you wait a year and a half for Boots, I think Boots literally is going to mop everybody in that division and may mop everybody in 154 above that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.